Welcome to the Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, track by track. And today we are looking into the fourth track on David Bowie's album The Next Day from 2013, Love is Lost. My name is Frode.
My name is Trond.
And my name is Chris.
And let's just go ahead and listen to the track and we'll have a discussion afterwards. So there we are. Just listen to the fourth track on The Next Day, Love is Lost. For me, that's the most powerful song on the album, especially the ending there. I really, really love it.
What a great song.
I can understand the ending. And we were talking about the two first songs where we wanted a different type of ending because there's the fade outs and here it's just like stop.
It's a proper ending, yeah. No, but I'm talking about the last chorus here is really, really powerful.
It's such a saturated sound.
Organ there fills out the sound very well. It's an organ that
does.
reminds me of 7 Years in Tibet organ from 1997.
Also reminds me of a church organ. It has this kind of it goes both low and high in a way in the spectrum.
My thoughts also went to 7 Years in Tibet and that era of Bowie's career in the mid-90s with Outside and Earthling, where he had this thick sound saturated with lots of noise. It's a heavy track. And right off from the opening, it sets the stage with this wonderful drum sound. It's the Eventide harmonizer that Bowie and Visconti used on Low famously. So that's probably another knowing wink to his audience that he's referencing himself in his own career in that track. And the whole opening, it's you hear this is Bowie long before he starts singing.
Yeah, you do. Usually, you would say to use these kind of effects with a bit of subtlety. It's definitely not in here because you can basically hear it being turned on and off.
Yep.
It's on when there's no singing, and then it's off when Bowie starts singing. And at a couple of places, it's almost like it distorts itself. But it's really functional. It really works. And there's this, the beat as well, I think needs to be mentioned because it has this kind of, it's on the beat, like the first beat is on the beat and then it's off beat. And then this gives a very nice flow to the song.
And the guitar sound, the riff, it's wonderful. Harks back to, of course, Gabrels and Fripp and the more noisy Bowie guitar players.
Only
Earl Slick.
Yeah, and we have Zachary Alford on playing the rhythm here, playing the drums. Who also played with Bowie in 97 on Earthling. This was the fifth and last single from the album, which was released on 16 December as a 12-inch limited edition white vinyl edition or version. It included a remix by James Murphy from LCD Sound Systems and a Venetian mix of A Rather Be High, a later song on the album, which was also used in a Louis Vuitton commercial with Bowie. So both of them were on the same single. And there was also a video for the song, which this time was written, shot, and edited by David Bowie alone, only assisted by a photographer called Jimmy King and his longtime personal assistant, Coco Schwab.
Jimmy King also did, I think, maybe he did all of the photography, the press photos of Bowie that were dropped in together with Black Star.
And the video itself, how would you describe it?
Well, it definitely looks homemade, lo-fi.
It was recorded in his apartment at Manhattan. It was definitely homemade.
Yeah. So it's a contrast to this Grand Floria Sigismondi videos that came before. But he had some props that were used in a 1999 music video for The Pretty Things Are Going to Hell, directed by Dom and Nick, that are not yet released. Nobody's seen the video. But in that video, various incarnations of Bowie in puppet form are destroying each other. That's what we know of how this video.
Wooden puppets.
Wooden puppets, yes.
They were actually created by Jim Henson's company.
They were?
Yeah.
Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Yeah. And Bowie took those props and used them in this video as, I don't know, maybe looks like some corpses or maybe ghosts of his former self.
The Tin White Duke.
The Thin White Duke is one of them. And
the Pyro Clown is another one.
yes. And in the original context, in the 1999 video, the pretty things are going to hell. I think the lyric says it all, but that's from the album Hours, where the Hours era Bowie is cradling the dying Earthling era Bowie, and it was sort of a the new replacing the old versions of himself yet again theme, and it's I don't know if it fits as well here that it wouldn't do in 99 to have these dolls back, but it certainly is apt for the David Bowie Is exhibition that was touring at that time, where he also put all of his life on display in monters and old stage suits as well, and the next day being the album that were a contrast to that in black and white, and his name covered, no, his face covered in the front with a white spot. So in that context, it fits to having current Bowie standing in the bathroom looking in his mirror like he did in the Thursday's Child video, which is also from Hours, and having all those destroyed, sinister-looking dolls of him, former personas, scattered throughout the video. What it means, I haven't got a clue. but he certainly circles in himself, his own life biography that could lead us to have a sort of more biography-like interpretation of the lyrics.
Yeah, it does seem to reference certain aspects of his life here. Before we come to that, we can also mention that there was actually 2 videos made for this song, or at least one video was also made for the remix by James Murphy. And that's a 10-minute long remix and a 10-minute long video made by Barnaby Roper, and basically contains polygons and wireframes that flashes across the screen, and it's being formed into a nude couple embracing. It's also a very simple video in a way, but completely different from the version that Bowie made. So it's a song, with love as a topic, not a topic that Bowie was writing about very often, but when he did, it often was with certain suspicion and not necessarily positivism, as you will often get in a song about love. There are a couple of exceptions, of course, through his career, but most of the time, love didn't really interest Bowie that much as a song topic. And in a way, it's the same here as well. It's an older Bowie reflecting on love in the song. It starts by referencing what this has been interpreted as a time in Bowie's life. It's the darkest hour, you're 22. The voice of youth, the hour of dread, the darkest hour, and your voice is new. Love is lost, lost is love. That's the first verse. And of course, when David Bowie was 22, that would be back in 1969. He had just lost his girlfriend at the time, Hermione Farthingale, which was a quite devastating blow to him, I think. At least he made a song about that, and that seemed to have impacted him quite a lot at the time. And of course, this was before he had made his big breakthrough as an artist. So I guess at the time, he had tried. He had made his debut album 2 years before. It hasn't gone anywhere. It probably was the darkest hour when he was 22.
It could be. It fits with that certain biography reading But of course, his darkest hour could be the LA Station to Station, an all-time low that he sings in Ashes to Ashes. The darkest hour could be the Dancing in the Street music video.
That's an all-time high for some people.
Depending on who you ask. Yeah. Didn't he even back in 1969? I think I read that he even was sort of flirting a little bit with heroin at the time. So I think again, it's a testament to a really dark time in his life, at least. Maybe one of several, but in the context of this song, it fits very well, at least with the time of his life.
But the next verse is harder to put into the Bowie biography.
The only thing there, I mean, in the second line, he says, "Your house and even your eyes are new," and in a way, he did get new eyes, or at least one eye at the time, because Bowie is famous for having two eye colors. He doesn't really actually have two eye colors, but after he had been in a fight with a childhood friend in his early age, his pupil is always completely dilated.
I was also thinking this was about him moving to the States.
Could be.
But you made his new and your accent too. I guess he lost a bit of his...
At least chronologically, it's a bit confusing in that context, but yeah, it could be.
And it could also be a fiction lyric with the person, the you in the lyric could be just a fictional character, an immigrant in a new country, in a new house, placed in some sort of, well, they have a maid, so it's not the poorest of condition. But even though placed in these new, well-to-do conditions, your fare is as old as the world. So there's at least a contrast in that verse of things being new, but the fare still being old.
It's also the repetition here, "Love is lost, lost is love." It is a phrase that for many strongly reminds them of a John Lennon song called "Love," where he does a very similar thing from 1970.
And there's also this lunacy, the lunacy man. Say hello to the lunacy man. He has this
lunatic man.
He has this thing with speeded up lunatic vocals used several times. All the Madmen, and
it's also a topic that is recurring several times through his career.
Yeah,
often pointing or believed to be pointing towards his brother.
So it might be a biography, a piece, might not be, we will never know, but at least he decides to put a lot of references in both the video and the music. And to top it off, James Murphy, when he did the remix, he got the Ashes to Ashes piano riff dropped in the end of the song. So that might just be because it was catchy, or it could be have some sort of purpose.
His own 3 words for this song, the words that he used to describe each different song on the album. For this song, it is hostage, transference, and identity. So is it hostage to one's circumstances or emotions, for example? Transference has been interpreted as old fears onto new experiences. He's talking a little bit about that. Even your fear is new. Now what he says. Your fear is as old as the world, is what he says. identity is something he has struggled with his whole career, or at least maybe not struggled with, but at least he changed identity many times.
Played with
Is maybe a better word, yeah.
and but of course when you play with something, it's easy that it can take over. So it's his relationship to identity, as we probably discussed it before, but it's not it's very ambivalent, I would say.
So this song also have a couple of cover versions. It's been covered by Momus, a Scottish indie pop, avant pop electronic artist, who also covered The Stars Are Out Tonight, the previous song on the track. It's actually a mashup together with Sister Midnight, and he uses both lyrics from Sister Midnight, a song that was originally written by Bowie and Iggy Pop back in 1977, and Lost Is Love, Love Is Lost itself, for an album called Terpsichore in 2015, which only consists of David Bowie songs. It was also covered by an Grammy-nominated American singer-songwriter called Rachel Eckroth for the album When It Falls in 2018. And fun fact about that recording is that it was Tim Lefebvre who played the bass on that one, and he also played the bass on the Black Star album, which came 2 years after the Next Day. So there's a link there. So yeah, Love Is Lost, great song. I think maybe it is my favorite track on this album, actually. Any final thoughts or comments?
Well, love is lost, but the music isn't, so we can move on to the next one.
I think we move on to the next one. Yeah, and by that we'll say goodbye to everyone who was watching this. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to be notified about our other discussions of the songs on this album. And by that, we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Keep listening.